Good morning, everyone. This is BremSter, and today I'm coming to you with a puzzle called Secret Pressure by Wuschel. This apparently is like a 4.5-star puzzle, which Wuschel submitted to me saying, yeah, this one might be a bit too hard for the channel, but see how you go. I have a little bit of time up my sleeve, and I'm very, very tempted to, I was so tempted I'm giving this one a try. Maybe this video won't actually make it. Maybe I'll have to pause the video at some point through and then edit when I get some help as to what the heck I'm supposed to do next. For me, it's all about showcasing the puzzle rather than me showing off my solving skills. So if I need to do that to bring the puzzle to you, I will. Yeah, yeah, I will. Of course, what's going on at the moment is we've got the Sven drive going on. I am trying to get people to support Sven Newman, the person who creates SudokuPad, the app you are looking at here. And if you click on the link to the puzzle below, that will open up Sven's SudokuPad. Sven has been developing this pretty much single-handedly, like for the last few years, and it is used by most Sudoku solvers around the world. Well, you know, in this community around the world, it's had millions of solvers on it, and I think we should do what we can to help him keep doing this, because wow. And I just wanted to do my part. So what I'm going to do is, if you donate to Sven on the Ko-fi page, I'm not going to mention this too much, but if you support Sven on his Ko-fi page, mention BremSter Puzzles, I will match donations up to a limit. I can't go limitless because I work for a living. Let's have a look at Secret Pressure by Wuschel. So, normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without a repetition. Digits on the indicated diagonal may not repeat. So there are 9 cells along the diagonal. We're working with the digits 1 to 9, so we know that those are the digits 1 to 9. And killer cages. Digits in cages may not repeat and must sum to the number in the top left corner if given. So we've got this cage. So this cage is all about digits not being able to repeat. So that digit and that digit may not be the same. By Sudoku they could be, but they would break the rules of killer. Apart from that, all the totals are given. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. I could be here for a long haul, and as I said, if I need to go get help, I will. So where do we start? That's quite a large cage. 9, 5, 8, 6. So this is either 9, 5 or 8, 6. They're the only things that could go in a 14 cage. I am more than prepared. So one of the features of Sven's SudokuPad is, if you go to the advanced settings, there is an option called a killer calculator, where when you click on a cage, it will show you all the possibilities in that cage. If you click once on a number, you are saying a number in the totals, you are saying that that number is definitely in the cage. Click on it again and you will toggle it off and you are saying that number is definitely not in the cage. You can also click on a line to say this option is one I have eliminated. And it allows you to not have to remember or do as much math. I try and not use the killer calculator as much as I used to, but if a puzzle I know is very, very hard, I will use the killer calculator. And I've got it open at the moment to see the possible combinations that can go into a cage. Like, I can click here and I can see a 14 cage must contain a 1 or a 2. I could kind of knew that anyway, but yeah. So where am I looking? 20 cage can't have a 1 or a 2 in it. So the 1 and the 2 on the diagonal cannot be in that cage. I could put a 2 in a 19 cage, but I can't put a 1. 24 cage in 5 has lots of options. Where the heck do you start? Is this a set puzzle? Actually, these are all quite low. And they take a lot of box 1. Like 14 must have a 1 or a 2. 15 must have a 1 or a 2. 16 must have a 1 or a 2. Because if I don't use a 1 or a 2, I'm at 3, 4, 5, 6. And 3, 4, 5, 6. See, this is, I'm immediately having to go. But 5, 6 is 11. 3, 4 is 7. Add 11 and 7, I'm at 18. So I must have a 1 or a 2 in each of these cages. So there's a 1 or a 2 or both in this. There's a 1 or a 2 or both in this. And there's a 1 or a 2 or both in this. But I can only put 1, 1 or 2 in those. So there is... So there is at least one or two in that. Actually, what is going on here? Because what's the name of the puzzle? Secret pressure. It's all about the secret. So this is I wonder if this was made for Cracking the Cryptic and submitted to them. I wonder if they've done it. How many people have solved this puzzle? If I hit pause, only 5 people have solved this puzzle in 250 days. Okay, so this was not submitted to Crack, or it may have been submitted to Cracking in the Cryptic, but it wasn't done by them. But they have a concept called the secret, which you're not supposed to tell anyone. Which is, if you grab all of the digits from 1 to 9 and add them together, they add to 45, which is known as the secret. Now, now 1/3 of the secret is 15. So 15 plus 14 plus 16 is 45. So those cages there add to 45, which is the same total as this box. So these 4 digits have the same total as that. So what it's telling me is these digits here have the same total as that digit there. What's the minimum? So this is at least a 6, because the minimum I could put into this is 1 and 2. The minimum I could put into this is 1 and 2. So this is 6, 7, 8, or 9. Now I could never put a 9 into a 14K. I'm wondering if this is a 9, because if I make this 1, 2, and this 1, 2, this becomes a 6. If this is 1 and 2, those add to 12. But I have to put a 1 and 2 into this box. If this is 1 and 2, and this was 1 and 2, then each of these cages would have both of these would have 1 and 2 in them, and there'd be no 1, 2 in here. Is that going to work? Like, can I do 1, 2 without a 1, 2 here, and then have a single 1 or 2 in here and a single 1 or 2 in here, and have all of these cages have 1, 2 in them? Is that required? But if I do that, then this is... Oh, this is messy. So what's the maximum I could put here? If these were 1, 2, these would have a maximum of 6. So I can't put anything higher than 5 in these. But if there was no 2 here, if this was 2, 3, this would have a maximum. So there must be at least 1, 1. Because if this is 2, 3 and this is 2, 3, then that's 10, and I can't put 10 in there. So there's at least 1, 1. Which makes sense. But they don't have to be different. I'm sure this is the trick that people... Like, the fact that this has been solved by 4 people in over half a year means that this is almost more diabolically hard than I am hoping. I'm also happy to have my math calculator open beside me, which is just a spreadsheet. How is this going to work? If this is 1, 2, this would be a 6. If this is 1, 2, this would have to sum to 13. No, 12. If there was a 1, 2 in here, then this would have to sum to 13, and this would have to sum to 11. So this would be... I'm very confused. This is the thing with hard puzzles. I'm one, I'm feeling do I like I can't put a 9 in a 14 cage. If I put a 9 in this, so 9 is down here, but I could put an 8 up here with 1, 2, 3. I am going to be terrible at this puzzle. There'll be something here that I am not. I'm trying to see if any of this has an impact on the diagonal, but it's too far away. If these were all 1, 2, and this was a 6, there'd be another 1, 2 in here, and there'd be another 1, 2 in here. These would sum to... These would sum to 13 without using a 6. So 9, 4 would be one possibility. 8, 5 would be the other. And they would be the only ways of making this work. I couldn't use 7, 6 because the 6 would be here. These would have to sum to 12 because I'd have 1 and 2 in here. These would have to sum to 12. 9, 3, 8, 4. But I couldn't use 8, 4 because that would break this. So this would be 9, 3. But I could use 7, 5. 9, 3, 8, 4. So let's actually do it here. Yellow. So yellow. These summing to 12. There'd be 9, 3. There'd be 8, 4. There'd be 7, 5. But I couldn't use 8, 4. So they'd be 9, 3 or 5, 7. They would be what's possible in here. And that will have used 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. And up here, I need to make 11. I can't use 9, 2. I could use 8, 3, 7, 4, or 5, 6. But I can't use 5, 6. So these would be the possibilities. So if this is 3, 8, this would be 5, 7, and this would be 4, 9. And if this was 4, 7, this would be 5, 8, and this would be 3, 9. And that would all work. Damn, I was hoping I'd be able to prove that they couldn't all be 1, 2. Have I just proved that they have to be? No, because then I have to case every other option. I don't want to do that. This seemed way too intentional, the fact that these all sum to 45. But I can't see how to use it. Is there something else going on similarly? Like these are 26, so that means these sum to 19. These sum to 19. Is that doing something to that cell? These sum to 19. These sum to 19. Sorry. Those cells sum to 19. Those cells sum to 19. Because 19 and 26 is 45. So those blue cells sum to 38. But this is 24. It's not doing much at all. Actually, let's try and use the secret again. So let's get rid of blue. And let's say that we know that those cells sum to 90 between them. And we know the sum of all of that. We know the sum of all of that, which is, and I'm not going to try and do this in my head because I will just fall apart and scream into a gibbering mess. We've got a 20 that starts in cage 3, in box 3. In box 5, we've got a 19. In box 6, we've got a 24, a 26, and a 14. That's a lot. And in box 8, we've got a 26 and a 12. If I add all of those together, that's 141. So the cages sum to 141. But these two boxes sum to 90. So there's a 51 difference. 51 difference. If I remove... There's a 51 difference between these boxes and the blue cages. 51. Now, I can get as much as possible into the cages by making these small. Because if I make these 1 and 1, then I'm getting as much value into yellow here as possible. So if I make these 1 and 1, then yellow will total 88. So I can make yellow total 88 if I make those two cells 1. So that will take 88 out of all of those cells. So now I need to make these cells equal 141 minus 88. So 141 minus 88 is 53. I have to get those cells equaling 53. If I were to make these higher, yellow would be lower, and the number I would have to get to would go up. So what's the maximum I can make these? 9, 9. No, this is on the diagonal. 9876, which is maximum here is 30. So what's the... Oh man, it's so close. There's 1 degree of freedom. So these are 1 or 2 because there's 1 degree of freedom. There's no 5 here, so there's no 9 here because this is either 689 or 789. Because if this is 789, because if I make this 30 and this 24, I'm at 54, but I'm aiming for 53. So what can this be? So this is a 789, so this is a 345. But that could be anything. And these are from these must contain 7, 8, 9, and they're from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If this is 5, 7, 8, 9, then this is 7, 8, 9. And if this is 6, 7, 8, 9, then this is 5, 8, 9. Why is that so? That math has to be correct, right? These were 141, 20, 19, 24, 26, and 14, 26 and 12 is 141. Yep, 141. Minimum I could make these is 2. So these could contribute 88. So if I subtract 88 from 141, I'm at 53. These could be 30. 6, 7, 8, 9 is 30. So these only have to contribute 23. But there must be 8 and 9 in those. But these must contain... Is it these cells now? Because these... Hang on, it could be these cells. Because these are... If these sum to 30... These are either 29 or 30. If they sum to 29, these sum to 10, because these cages sum to a total of 39. If they sum to 30, these sum to 9. Oh, I can't see it. I can't see it. Wait, this can't be 1, 2 anymore. And this can't be 1, 2 anymore. So the minimum here is 1, 3. The minimum here is 1, 3. So this isn't a 6 or a 7. Holy cow. But one of these must be a 1. So one of those must be a 2. Because if I don't put a 1 in here, this has to be a 10. Oh my God. One of these has to be, if I don't put a 1 in here, this is 2, 3, this is 2, 3, and this has to be a 10. So there must be a 1 in one of these. So one of these has to be a 2. So the minimum here is 3, which means this can't be 88. They have to be 87. And 141 minus 87 is 54. And this is all maximum. This is 6. No, keep the blue. This is 6, 7, 8, 9. And these, that's not a 6. That's not an 8. This is 7, 8, 9. That's stunning. Now, these have to sum to 9. How do I use this? So I've only got 1, 6, 7, 8, 9 in here and 1, 6, 7, 8, 9 in here. Now, this is a 19. Oh my God, this is amazing. So these sum to 8 or 9. One of these has a 1 in it, and one of them doesn't have a 2. Because if I put the 1 here, this becomes the 2, this becomes the 1, because these are different. These must be different. I can't put a 1 in a 26 cage. So there's no 1 in any of those. I can put a 1 in a 24 cage. I can't put a 1 in a 20 or a 19 cage. So there is a 1 in one of these. So there's a 1 in this 24 cage because I can't put it here. I can't put it in either of these, and I can't put it in either of these. So if this is the 2, there's a 1 in here. If this is a 2, there's a 1 in here, and there is a 1 in this 24 cage. Which means I've got 4 cells summing to 23, which isn't telling me much. But if I put the 1 here, this becomes a 2. The minimum here would be 1, 3. So let's say it was 1, 3. This now would be a 2. This would be a 1. This would have a minimum of 2, 3. This would be 5 plus 4. And that's just a 9. It must be a 9 because the minimum on one side is 1, 3, where the 2 isn't, and the other side now has a minimum of 2, 3, and 5 plus 4 is 9. And there must be a 3 in each of these. Now do I want to case this again? Because I'm not using... How do I make this work? But it means that they must be 1, 3, and 2, 3, doesn't it? I can't put a 5 and a 3 in. So there's no 5 in these anymore. It must be 1, 3, and 2, 3, mustn't it? Because that's the absolute maximum I can get. If I put 1, 3 here, this becomes the 2, this becomes a 1, this becomes 2, 3, and their maximum. There's no 4 in these either. So these are 1, 3, and 2, 3. Which means that, yeah, there's a 3 in each of them, and these are 1, 2, 3 triples. Okay. So where do I put the 3 in this box? If I put the 3 in this cage, both of these become 3. If I put the 3 here... Yeah, I'm not sure. Like if I put the 3 here, that's a 3, and then that's... Well, I couldn't put the 3 there, but if I put the 3 there, then that's a 3, and then that's the 3. If I put the 3 there, that's the 3, and that's the 3. If I put the 3 there, that's the 3, and that's the 3. Okay, so, but what I need to do now is I need to figure out what the options are. But the 3s could be here. But there's no 9 in these cages anymore. So I can literally just turn off every option that requires a 9. But that's not much. And I don't need to put the 3 in the 15 cage because I could put the 2 3s there. Oh no, there must be a 3 in the 15 cage. Because if I put the 3 there and there, there's a 3 in every one of these cages. There must be a 3 in every one of these cages. Because if I put a 3 here, so if I don't put a 3 in the 15 cage, then the 3 is there, and then where do I put the 3 in the box? I put it in one of those two. So there is, there is 3 in the 15 cage for sure. Now, is there a 3 in the 14 cage? Well, if I put the 3 there, that means there's a 3 in those. If I put the 3 here, then where do I put the 3 in this box? I have to put the 3 here, and now I have to put it in the 14 cage, so the 3 goes up here, and there's a 3 in the 14 cage. So if I don't put the 3 here to put it in the 14 cage, I put it here, which means down here it goes here, and then it must go in the 14 cage. There must be a 3 in the 14 cage. And now in the 16 cage, I think it's the same. I have to have a 3. Because if I don't put the 3 here, I put the 3 here, I put the 3 here, and where does the 3 go in the 16 cage? It has to go in one of those. So there is a 3 in every cage. So, oh my lord. So there must be a 1. No, there doesn't. There's a 3 in every cage. This is crazy. Okay, there's a 3 in every cage. I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay, this 26 cage can't be 5, 6, 7, 8 because I can't use 5, 6. This 26 cage, I don't know. It's got to be up here. But I'm terrified of this. Where do I put the 8? If this is 1, 2, 3, 8, I'm using the 1 and the 2 in here. Surely that'd be a problem. Because I don't have a 1 or a 2 for this box. So this would be a 1 or a 2, and these would both be 1s and 2s. And that doesn't work. Because no, that's not true. I only need 1, 1, 2 for this. So with the 3 here, I have, well, with the 3 in this cage, I then need 3 digits, oh crikey, that sum to 11. Sorry, I am lost. Okay, so the minimum... Maybe it is these cells, because these are from 6, 7, 8, 9. Minimum here... If this is a minimum of 4. This is a so this is 4, 5, 6, or 7. But if this was 7, this would have to sum to 13, and I couldn't do it. So this is 4, 5, or 6. Because I can't put a 3 in there because of the 3 looking over. This one is under even more pressure. Because this can't be 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. I can't make this 9. These would have to sum to 10. So the maximum this could be is 6. But if this is 6, these have to sum to 13, which would be 6, 7. That doesn't work. This is a 4 or a 5. So it can't be 2, 8, 9, and it can't be 3, 7, 9. So it's, if this is... So if this is a 4, these sum to 15, and this would be a 5. If this is a 5... So if this is a 4, this is a 5. So these... Yeah, we know these sum... Because these are 20, these sum to 9. So it's 4, 5, or 5, 4. There's no 6 there. This is a... These are 4 and 5 and different. So all of a sudden, this cell can't be 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5. This is 6, 7, 8, 9. Which means it's one of those two. So what? There's got to be something going on here. Is it box 1? Okay, I warned you this might happen. So what happened at this point of the puzzle is I started looking at options in box one, and I spent about 20 minutes looking at those options and made a lot of incorrect deductions. And then I followed on from those incorrect deductions. And with those, I just went down a rabbit hole and tried to continue to solve the puzzle and just got further and further wrong. So I ended up rolling back and trying to figure out what it was I missed from the point where I started to investigate box one. And while I was doing that, I saw something that was incredibly important, which, as you may have seen, has appeared in this box. This is a 789 triple, and that can't be a 7. So I have a 7 looking up in column 7. And at that point, I realized, holy cow, that's what I should have done. So rather than you looking at me flounder for 40 minutes, over 40 minutes of just me trying to figure out what the heck is going on and just making wrong deduction after wrong deduction, the deductions were kind of cool, but they weren't this puzzle because I'd made mistakes and was just going down the thing. But this puzzle, if I can solve it, probably deserves to be seen, but just not with me showing just wrong thing after wrong thing. Viewers find that frustrating. I know they do. They comment that they do. So what I'm going to do is move forward with having found this 7 pair and take a 7 out of here and see what that does. Now, I don't think that actually resolves this because I don't know if this is going to try and... It means that if this is 16, that can't be a 9. And if it's 17, it can't be an 8. But I don't know that that's going to pressure anything yet. But what it does do is it takes 7 out of those, and it does seem to put 7 into the 26 cage. Now, with 7 in the 26 cage, the options I have are 2, 7, 8, 9, which would resolve this, or 4, 6, 7, 9, which doesn't work because these would both be 5. So this actually is 2, 7, 8, 9, which makes this a 1 and this a 2, which is actually the other way round to the way I'd found it after doing a whole heap of work in here. Much easier. So that's cool. So these are 2, 7, 8, 9, which means there is a 3 in the 24 cage. What can I do with that? So it's either 3, 4, 3, 5, or 3, 6. Now, there's no 1 in either of these. So this is the 2, 3 pair. And there's no 2 in either of those. This is the 1, 3 pair. Can I do any more with that? That 2, it means I can't put 2 into the 26 cage. Which means it can't be 2, 7, 8, 9. So I can't put 7, 8, 9 in this cage. But that leaves way too many options. But oh no, 4, 5, 8, 9. No, hang on, I can't use 4, 5, 8, 9. I was about to say you have to use high digits, but the 4, 5, 8, 9 is the option that doesn't use 3 of 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have to use 3 of 6, 7, 8, 9 in here. And I must use a 6. 3, 6, 8, 9, 4, 6, 7, 9, or 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's a 6 down here. So there's no 6 in here. So in here, but I can only use 2 of 7, 8, 9. Because if it was 6, 7, 8, 9, this would be a 30 cage. So there is a 7, an 8, or a 9 in here, giving me a virtual 7, 8, 9 triple. That's a 6. So these are not 6. So now I want to look at these. So this is 6. So these have to sum to 13. So there's no 7 there. Because if this is 7, this would have to be 6. So that's the 7. These now have to sum to 13. Well, there's no 7 there, but that hasn't actually resolved anything. If this is 9, 4, this is 8, 5. And if this is 8, 5, this is 9, 4. Well, there's no 7 there either. Wow, that did... That did so little. There's no 2 here because of the 2, 3 looking over. 3 in this box is in one of these 4 cells. Can this be 3, 6, 8, 9? This would be 6, 8, or 9, giving me a 6, 8, 9 triple. So I'd have 1, 2, 3. These would be 4, 5, and 7. This would be a 4, 5. That would be a 7. I think that's okay. But there is a 7, an 8, or a 9 in here with a 1. There must be a 1 in that cage because I can't put a 1 in a 26 cage. So these are from 1, 7, 8, 9 and must contain a 1. There's no 7 there. This is a 7, 8, 9. So these are 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, crikey. How do I make that work? Well, it puts 2 in one of those 2 for the column. And there's 1 of 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1 of 7, 8, 9. 2 of 7, 8, 9. Do I have to go back to box 1? Sorry, I am dreading box 1 like the plague. A statement that was around long before COVID. There must be a 7 in here. This has to have 2 of 7, 8, 9, and that's an 8, 9. There must be a 7 in one of these. So there is definitely a 7 in this. So now the cage is 1, 3, 4, 7, 9 or 1, 3, 5, 7, 8. So there's no 6 in it. There's no 6 here. This is 3, 4, 5. This is 6. So this is 8, and there's no 8 in it. This is 1, 7, 9. 1, 7, 9 is 17. These have to sum to 7. These are 3, 4. So this is 5. This is 4. 7 and 5 is 12. So this is the 8, and this is the 9. There's no 9 there. That is kind of weird. There's no 4 here, so there's no 8 here. That's a 7, 9 pair. And this now doesn't have a 4 in it. So it's either 3, 6, 8, 9. So there must be an 8 in it, of course. Or 5, 6, 7. No, wait. Wait. What did I just do? I just broke the killer calculator. There's no 2 in the cage. There's no 4 in the cage. There must be a 6 in the cage. 3, 6, 8, 9 or 5, 6, 7, 8. So there must be an 8 in the cage. I don't know why everything just went so haywire on the killer calculator. Possibly because I've been working on this puzzle for so long. There's no 6 in this 15 cage anymore. So it's 1, 2, 3, 9. It can't be 1, 2, 3, 9. I can't put a 9 in the cage. So this is 1, 3, 4, 7. So there's no 2 in it. This is the 3. This is the 1. This is a 4, 7 pair. This is a 3. This is a 2. But there must be a 3 in the 16 cage because there must be a 3 in every cage. So there's a 3 here. So this is 2 and 3 in 2 digits that sum to 11. They can't be 9, 2. They can't be 8, 3. They can't be 7, 4. This is 3, 5, 6. And the digits that are left over are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 8. There's no 2 here. And I've got that. That takes the 2 out of here and puts the 2 into here. This is now a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This puzzle is... Now, it may look like I'm flying through this, but this puzzle is absolutely breaking me. Now, I probably want to pencil mark the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here now, because neither of those can be 2 and neither of those can be 2. So I get a 2 in the center of the grid, which takes 2 out of those and makes that the 2. Puts 7 in one of those 2, which puts 7 down in one of those 2 because of the 4, 7 pair looking down. Now this, no. This, no. That can't be a 1. This triple maybe? Because 1, 2, 3, 5. There's no 2 here. This is a 3 or a 5. So 2 is in one of those 2, but the 2 is looking down, taking 2 out of there, and this becomes the 2. Those are 3 of 1, 3, 4, 5. So there must be a 1 or a 4 on there. 2 is right here in the corner because of the 2s by Sudoku. One is not in any of those. So 1 is in one of those 2, taking 1 out of this puzzle. 1 is not in any of those. It's going to be this cage doing a lot of work now. Or it's... There could be a trick here that I need to math on, but I'm not sure. So if this is 9, this is 3. This is 7. This becomes 5, 6, 7, 8, and this becomes 1, 9. Now that just works. I think this just works either way. Oh, the 8 takes the 8 out of those. This is 9, 7, and 8, which confirms the 7 in one of those 2, confirms the 8 up there. The 9... puts 9 in one of those 3, but not there. 9 here would mean 9 is not in any of those. And 9 would have to be in one of those 2. And actually, 9 here would put 9 here, which would put 9 here, which would put 9 in this box, and these would be 7 and 1. It's going to be this now. I think I should get rid of all of the colouring that's there. This is an exhausting puzzle. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying it's exhausting. I'm not very good at it. So this has got 3 and 9 or 5 and 7 in it. So we know 1 is in here. We know 3 is in here. because the 1s and 3s. So 1 and 3 is in here. 4, 5. So this is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8. This is a quadruple, however. 5, 6, 7, and 8. That can't be a 7. So these are 4, 5, 6, and 8. Trying to see if anything is forced into these. Where's 2 in this column? 2 can't go in any of those or any of those. That's a 2. This is not a 2. 2 is now here, isn't it? Yeah, 2 is right there. So I should have done work on 2s. Is there another digit I can do work on? Is there another digit I can force out of here? Like 4 can go in here, 5 can go in here. Even 6 and 8 can go in here. They're restricted, but they can. No. 1 on this diagonal must go in one of the corners. So that can't be a 1, or I can't put 1 on the diagonal. That's an 8 and that's a 1. Which makes that a 6, which makes that a 1, which takes 1 out of here. Now this isn't the 1. Right, so this is the 1. I could have done that. There was the 1 looking over, making that not the 1 and making that the 1. That would have been the easier way of doing it. But this this puzzle. Oh, oh my Lord. So have I got naked singles down here? Because this is a quadruple. 1 is in one of these 2 cells. 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 9. These are 1, 5, 8, and 9. Now 1 isn't down here. 8 isn't here. 9 isn't here. So this is 1, 5, or 9. Seven is in one of these 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 7 is in one of those 2. One in this box is here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in this box is in one of those 2. I feel it's this. There's something going on with this, and I can't quite see it. Because I am dumb. These are 3, 4, and 5. So what's missing from here? There's a 6 in one of those 2. Oh, please let me find this. This is so stressful. This is assuming I haven't made another mistake, which is a big assumption at this point. This is a 3, 4, 5 triple. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 7, 9 pair. Really? It's got to be this. That digit is one of those. Actually, it's one of those three because it can't be 7. So it's 1, 5, or 9. But I can put 1, 5, or 9 in any of those. I can put 1 there, I could put 5 there, I could put 9 there. This digit is one of those. And it can be any of them. Like, I think it can be any digit. Like, it can't be 2, 1, or 8. Okay, I'm sorry. At this point, I'm getting every help I can. That can't be an 8 because of the 8 looking at it. And this can't be a 3 because of that 3. So 3 is in one of those two saying that can't be a 3, and 3 is looking over here saying that can't be a 3, giving me a 4, 5 pair, making that the 3, taking 3 out of there. The 3 looks down, making that the 5, making that the 3, taking 5 out of there. The 4, 5 pair looks down, making that the 3, and I'm just going to take that as a kickstart. The 3 looks up, taking the 3 out of there, making that the 5, 6, making this the 3. I'm taking the kickstart because I was stuck. And this is how I use tools when I'm solving hard puzzles, not on camera. Not to help me solve the whole thing, but to get me unstuck. And I was very, very stuck. I'm feeling like I'm about to get very stuck again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are 4 and 6. I'm just going to get stuck again, aren't I? And the other problem I have is when I use the pencil mark checker like that to get unstuck, I just don't have any idea of flow. I just feel I've become 100% dependent on it because I didn't make any of those deductions. So I've got no puzzle memory. So I've got nothing in my brain about what those deductions were. Oh, man. This is going to be the most disliked and least popular video ever on my channel. It's not the puzzle. It is absolutely not the puzzle. How do I resolve this 26 cage? It's 3, 9 or 5, 7, and I can't see how to resolve it. I can't put 3 in any of those. So 3 is in one of those two. It's got to be this, and I can't see how to use it. Again, the pencil mark checker just broke my flow. But I needed it to get unstuck. And now it's not telling me anything, so that's good. If I could reduce this down further. So this now is 4, 5, 6. Sorry. 4, 5, 6, 7, or 9. But it's one of these digits. But it can't be 1 or 3. And I have to have a 1 or 3 in here. but I don't have any like 4, 5, 7. There's no useful triple here I can see. Like if this is 5, 4, 6, 7, 9. So if this is 5, 6, 8, 4, 4, 6. Is it these being different? But they're not really seeing anything. I'm really sorry, everyone. I'm going to try and get this video out, but there's 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 in those 5 cells. So there's still so many options. So I'm not seeing, like this is one of those. If that is that, or it's not there, so it's one of these, so it's one of 159, which I've got. This is one of those. If it's 9, 9 is here, or 9 is in one of those 3. So if it's 9, it's 9, and 9 is one of those 3. If it's in here, then it's in one of those 3, and it's either 4, 5, 6, or 7. This is 9, 3, 7, 1, 9, 3. No, I'm... Okay, these are the same digit. Is that telling me anything? They're the same digit. If they're 4, that's 4. 4 is in one of those 2. 4 is in one of those 2, which would put 4 in one of those 2, which would make that a 4. Which would make that a 4. 4 would be here, 4 would be here, and that would all be fine. If these are both 5, these can't be 5. Because these are different digits because they're on the diagonal. So those two are the same digits, and if they were both 5, I couldn't put 5 in that cage. Those are both 4s. That's a 5. That 4 makes that the 7 and that the 4. There's no 4 here. The 7 makes that the 9, which makes that the 7. That takes 7 and 9 out of here. This is 5 and 6. There's a 5, 6 pair in the cage. That's the 8. There's no 6 here. There's no 5 here. The 8 makes that the 4 and that the 6, which makes that the 5 and that the 6. That was the trick. And it's diabolical. 5, 6. There's no 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 6, 7, and 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4 and 9 go into there, and the 4 makes that the 9 and that the 4. The 6 and the 8 makes that the 7, taking the 7 out of those. The 6, the 7, and the 8 makes that the 5, which makes that the 3 and the 9, making that the 7, that's the 1, 9. And we now know this triple is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There's no 7 there. The 4 makes this the 6 and this the 4, which means this is the 8, that's the 7, and that's the 6. There's no 8 there. There's no 9 there, or 5. That's the 8. There's no 7 there. That's the 7. This is the 5 and the 9. And the 9 is looking down, making that the 5 and that the 9, which looks up making that the 1. There is no 1 here. This is actually a triple. 1, 3, 5. There's no 1 here. There's no 5 here. There's no 3 in either of those. That's the 5. That's the 1, that's the 3, which means that's the 4 and that's the 3. The 1 makes that the 9 and that the 1. The 8 looks up making that the 6 and that the 8. And I'm down to a single cage. That's the 5. This had better be a 9 because, yes, that's a 9. This triple, I'm just going to put the triple in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and 8. There's no 8 in either of those. That's the 8. I'll use that 7 to make that the 4 and that the 7. And that is the correct solution. Now, this puzzle has taken me forever. And I went down a couple of very wrong rabbit holes. And as I said, I spent probably 45 minutes or something. I don't know. I don't want to check. Doing very wrong deductions in box 1, which led to me getting these 1 and 2 the wrong way round, which led to me making wrong deductions in box 6 and box 8, and then I ended up with a lot of breakages in here, and it just, everything was wrong. And I ended up rolling back and getting to the point where I realized on this 7, 8, 9 triple I had the pointing 7 pair, and then I went forward from there. And as you saw, I still made mistakes. This puzzle was hard, way harder than I normally do on the channel. I didn't check. I was told this was like, Wuschel told me according to the statistics on the puzzle, it was like a 4.5. That was hard. Way harder than I normally do. And as I said, secret pressure, mentioning the secret, I'm wondering if this was a submission to CTC that never got seen. But it's been seen here. And if you don't like this sort of video on my channel, I'm sorry, but I do want to start tackling these puzzles. I do occasionally try and solve them recreationally, but the difference when I try and solve puzzles this hard recreationally is I normally take a week or so to do them. I'll do 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, 20 minutes here, and I really can't do that while recording. And maybe I need to try and do that. Record 20 minutes here, 20 minutes here, 20 minutes here, and when I make mistakes, roll back and do the editing thing, because I find this, what's it been, like nearly 3-hour recording sessions, absolutely exhausting. They absolutely wipe me out. I love the puzzles and I love finding the stuff, but the recording sessions are just exhausting. It's just the way it is. We'll see how it goes, and I'll see what I can pick up in future. Please leave feedback below about not just what you thought of the puzzle, but what you think about this format. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, Wuschel, for the puzzle. I'm really glad you sent it in. And as always, good luck with your solving.